Baby, I'm amazed by you. That's right, Jerome's. I'm amazed by you. Thank you very much for coming along on this beautiful Thursday and heading into week 12. We haven't done this in a couple weeks, so it's time to bring it back. But the definitive tier list for starting NFL quarterbacks heading into week 12. I don't know if we got all 32. I got a backup in there too. Doesn't really matter. But our tiers, as always, tier 1, the elite of the elite, the creme de la creme. Next tier is you can win a Super Bowl with, right? You're probably not going to win a Super Bowl because of them, but you can win a Super Bowl with them if you got other ancillary pieces. Frisky, aight, and then Kirk Cousins. Then you have ass, thank you. Then you got better start learning Chinese, buddy. And starting from the bottom now we hear learning Chinese, Aaron Rodgers, it's over. It's over, man. Just go smoke crack somewhere and just leave. Derek Carr, I can't explain it, right? And Derek Carr has skated by for so many years. And he's gotten the contracts, but he's never elevated the players around him, but he still gets credit. And what's been weird about the Saints is that like he'll put Chris Olave and the other receivers in the hospital, and then everyone will complain he's got no receivers. He's not even the best quarterback on his team. That's tight end Taysom Hill. It's weird. Aiden O'Connell. This could be O'Connell. This could be Minshew. This could be whatever. Either of them are not going to be back next year for the Raiders. And Antonio Pierce might not be back either. So, Voshi Wanhu Pigio. Anyways, next, ass. Thank you. Trevor Lawrence. This is a stand-in for Mac Jones. Mac Jones wasn't available on the list, but Trevor Lawrence was not great before he banged up his shoulder, and Mac Jones is just straight up booty. DeVito. So I want to give the Italian credit, but, is he a sideshow? Yes. Is he really fun? Yes. Could he accidentally win the Giants a couple games? Yes, which will excite like the Italian part of the fan base in Jersey, but the rest of them be like, you're screwing up our draft pick, man. You're costing us Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. It's funny. Will Levis. So outside of Levis's 98-yard bomb, actually, I'm not ready to say that Levis is complete ass, right? I think that there are some positive traits. Frankly, I think that he's like... I think that he's going to be this generation's Jameis Winston. I really do. He's got a big-time arm. He's not afraid to sling it. He's not afraid to make mistakes. Makes a lot of mistakes. But you can't stop. Obviously, in terms of personality and loquaciousness, he's got nothing. Have you seen those Hellman's commercials? I put mayonnaise in my coffee. That's my personality. Anyways, but next, tier 2, tier whatever. So Kirk Cousins, I think there's something going on with Kurt because he is banged up, and it's kind of like the start of the season where he was very hesitant on that foot, the plant foot with the Achilles, and he wasn't getting a lot of zip on his throws. And then, he had a nice little run there, but I think the injuries are piling up. He's sort of all over the place, hasn't thrown a touchdown in the last 2 games. Frankly, I think Penix would give them a better chance to win right now, so I don't know. Dak Prescott, even before he tore the hamstring, I don't know. What's crazy is that, so if they cut Dak, they instantly have $102 million dead on the cap, and he's got no trade clause, so they're stuck with him. All right, and if you're a head coach, first off, you have to work for Jerry Jones, which is not enticing, and also you're stuck with a quarterback who you may not even like. So, that's not the Cowboys is not a great job, and there's a reason why. Outside of Parcells for that stretch, there hasn't been a great coach in Dallas since Jimmy Johnson, because no one wants to work with Jerry Jones. And that's it. But in terms of mediocre production and getting massively overpaid, yes, that is a Kirk Cousins here. Next up, wrong way. So. A lot of the rookies are in here. So, actually, it's all rookies and second-year guys. So, Bo Nix, respect. I was wrong. And, Nix, even at an advanced age and even in a don't want to say it's a gimmicky offense, but stupid-ass Sean Payton has leaned into what Bo Nix does well, distributing the football, short, quick passes, and just getting it out there. But he is accurate. Mobility is a plus. Got some decent leadership ability, too. And Broncos are playing some good football right now, so respect there. Caleb Williams. So Chicago's a mess. Like, Williams will succeed, but it won't be in Chicago, right? So whatever his second team is going to get a hell of a quarterback. He's a magician. He can make something out of nothing, and there's a lot more Mahomes to his game than Trubisky. That makes sense, all right? But the offensive line is a mess. Hopefully Flores, the company, shreds that ish today. Or not today, this week on Sunday. Rome Odunze, he and Williams got a little something going there. DJ Moore, I don't know. Keenan Allen, just too old. I don't know. Drake May. So Drake May is surrounded by nothing, but he's still making plays, and there is hilarity there. And, May, we said in the draft process that May was the guy who needed to sit the most and work on footwork and everything like that. His footwork is still a mess, but at least he's entertaining, just slinging that pigskin all over the place, man. And giving the Patriots fans some hope. Although, I mean, the run that they've been on since 2001, screw them. I mean, go back to being the Baston Patriots and just being bad every single year. They got Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson. So they've breathed some life into their careers after getting benched. Bryce Young has bounced back nicely. Anthony Richardson had a career game against the Jets last Sunday. So I think that there's hope. I want quarterbacks to succeed. I hate busts. I feel like the level of quarterback play around the league has been sort of uneven. We need that next generation. We need guys to rise up. Next, Frisky. So actually, we're going to start from the back. So because these tiers are in order. Jalen Hurts. So when Hurts is on, right? But I feel like accuracy-wise, he's sort of been scattershot. And I mean, the tush push is obviously certainly there. AJ Brown is really rising up, and I don't know. Like, I don't know if I trust Hurts in a big game. I just don't. Geno, with a gritty gutty win over the Niners. I've always loved Geno, man. Like, Geno's my guy. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, and I mean, the Seahawks really are a reflection of Geno. They really are Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know which version of the team is going to show up, but Geno just slinging it, man. Tua starting to find a groove. Hopefully he's knocking on wood, all wood stays healthy, and he's got a lot of talent. He doesn't like Brian Flores, so maybe he needs to work that out. Just go to therapy, dude. Stop going on podcasts talking about Flores. Kyler Murray. I mean, Kyler and the Cardinals having a really nice season under Drew Petzing, a former Vikings legend. Same thing with Jonathan Gannon, and I mean, Murray representing, he's half Korean. That's why he's out there. CJ Stroud. So Stroud's had a really up and down season, but that's been tied directly to his weapons. So Nico missed a lot of time. Diggs tore his ACL. But Stroud, I still put Stroud up there. I think, frankly, if I put him in the Super Bowl with tier, I don't think anyone would be mad. But yeah. Then Frisky. I've always loved me some Baker Mayfield. There's just something about having it. Does he have the strongest arm in the world? It's decent. Is he accurate as hell? Not particularly. But if you need something to get done, he will get it done. He kind of reminds me of like Ken Stabler, Snake Stabler. Now, stylistically, they're not the same, but just if you need one drive, like he will tear out his fingernails, he will rip out his hair, he will fight you tooth and nail. If you liquidate him and just leave one pinky, that pinky will fight you to the death. Like, that's exactly what Baker Mayfield is. Love Baker Mayfield. Next here, Super Bowl with. So Brock Purdy's on the back end. Purdy's been banged up, and also injuries to his weapons, the Avengers. But I think Purdy has actually shown quite a bit this year as being a standalone guy. Jaden Daniels, I know that Jaden Daniels had a rough performance against the Eagles, but I just love his leadership. I love the moxie. I love the connection he has with Scary Terry whenever he's not being covered by Quinion Mitchell. And I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a problem for the league for a number of years. Jordan Love, I have to give respect where it's due. He's definitely making something out of nothing there. I mean, just arm punting it down to Christian Watson. Go ahead. Slinging Sam Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback. So, yeah, Super Bowl with. Guess what? The Vikings have the best defense in the National Football League. You have the best receiver in the National Football League. You have a top 3 tight end in the National Football League if you actually let him play. And The offensive line kind of comes and goes. Hopefully, Aaron Jones will be fresh for the playoffs. And guess what? Darnold, as we saw in the Tennessee game, he can catch fire. Like he can go out there, he can ball out, he can drop dimes, and plus, I actually do think it's his aggressiveness that gets him in trouble at times. 5 interceptions against the Colts and the Jaguars, but that's going to give the Vikings a chance because guess what? In the playoffs, a stalemate game, close game, and all of a sudden one of those piss missiles just drops out of freaking the heavens, and Darnold just tosses the pill all through triple coverage, and guess what? It gets through. 1 time out of 10, but that's the one time. It could serve him well because I know I've made the case before that Tom Brady won his first 3 Super Bowls basically as a game manager, but you got to be able to sling it in the Super Bowl if you're a quarterback. You got to be able to go toe-to-toe. If the game turns into a shootout, you got to be able to go shot for shot, go from there. Stafford, I love Stafford. Even when he was with the Lions, I always had the utmost respect for Stafford. He's a badass. He is tough as hell, and he just finds a way to get it done. So I love me some Matthew Stafford. Plus, the Rams are starting to get healthy. The Rams are going to be super, super interesting come playoff time. Jared Goff, hey, you got freaking Stonewall for an offensive line. You got the best running game in the league. Amon-Ra's one of the best slot receivers in the game. Jameson Williams, when he's not being suspended, is a big play threat. So what more do you want? Also, yeah, Laporta's been underperforming and has been hurt. Just see what happens if he gets dialed in. Lastly, controversial. So tier 1, the elite of the elite. Burrow, after some tough games early on, has proven that he's still Joe freaking Burrow. The defense, maybe not so much. I mean, Burrow's going to lead the league in a number of passing categories, and the Bengals are going to win like 5 games. That's what happens. Herbert. So a lot of people thought that Herbert, with Harbaugh, who wants to run the ball, and the Chargers gutting their receiving core, was just going to take a step back. No, it's actually proving his greatness, right, within the framework of the Harbaugh offense. And he's making studs out of Will Dissly. He's making studs out of Ladd McConkey. Josh Palmer's rising up. Quentin Johnston is actually doing something. Well, Quentin Johnston is coming down with like 2 catches on 9 targets, but I mean the 2 are for deep balls. One's a touchdown. It's funny. Lamar Jackson, I mean, yeah, don't let the tough game against the Steelers fool you. I mean, it's a tough division game. It is what it is, but Lamar, still that freaking magician. Mahomes, even coming off that loss, I mean, he's still Mahomes. I mean, just wait for a playoff time and then just see what happens there. And then Josh Allen, that was his Heisman moment against the Chiefs. I mean, just all the touchdowns, high leverage spots, and Josh Allen's really been amazing this year because a lot of people, myself included, thought that the Bills would take a step back after they got rid of Diggs and Gabe Davis, and then they basically gutted their entire secondary. The Bills are legit. The Bills are absolutely legit, and Josh Allen out there, all 7 of them, looking like Brock Osweiler adjacent, but got wheels, man. It's a lot of fun, right? But that is it. That's at quarterback tiers headed into Week 12, the definitive quarterback tier list. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, who's too high, who's too low. Actually, no, they're all perfect. That's it. Let us know, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.